You know, I should probably go back to the introduction. I haven't done the introduction in quite a while now. I should probably go back to that. That way I get, you know what, maybe I should do that now. Give people some time, you know? Oh, that's right. I forgot. The reason I don't do that is because I didn't put the music back on yet. That's right. I forgot. I haven't. That's okay. That was all right. That's on me. That's on me. That's the one thing I forgot to put back together. I forgot to put back the introduction music when I switched over to the computer. I was like, why didn't I? Why don't I do that anymore? Oh, that's right. I'm retarded. I forgot about that. I need to do that. That's why I put an X in the name. Don't do that. You're messing it up, you freaking boomer person. You god dang old man. Steam. I wonder what else I messed up. It's okay. It's okay. So, we're just gonna, you know. Oh God. It is time for us to go back into the city that is sinking. Uh, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Of all the crazy stuff that's been happening, this dude is really, really comfortable with all the crazy crap he's seen. Like, I would personally not be. That's right, we're looking for finger stones. We're looking for the fingering stones. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Exactly, I'm not crazy, you're crazy. No, I'm not. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. Who you talking to? Could you imagine? 1 minute, I'm having a small snack. You're extra crazy. Well, that's obvious. Could you imagine telling somebody 50 years ago? No, let's do 100 years ago. Let's do 100 years ago. Why haven't you finished this yet? Well, I'm still working on it. Imagine 50 years ago explaining to somebody that people would talk into sticks and stare at rectangles and they could communicate with people. Imagine doing that. Imagine, and then looking at their face and saying, no, this is seriously what people are going to do in the future. And they'd look at you like you deserve to live in a freaking shack with a lot of wonderful jackets. And not only did they get to live to see that, like a lot of those people got to live to see it. I think this is how it feels like for the people that lived before electricity, and before they died, they were like introduced to the computer. I'm going to buy you backrooms to reward you for playing this gym. The entrance in the cemetery marked 5 finger-shaped stones. This is exactly what Justice asked me to find out. Like, what was it? People that lived in... There were people in World War II that had lived to see the Civil War, is what it was, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was World War One. They had lived from... They had lived to see... What was it? They lived to see... I guess we could escape this as we started together. I mean, we could, but I'm not going to do that. Let's be real. There's no escape. Where is... Is this the cemetery? We should have been the few stones. Okay. Maybe I need to go to a place that will tell me where this is. No? Hill Resurrection and Terminator to get information. Yeah, just prepared an army to deal with your show, whatever this happens to be. Back rooms it is. Have I not discovered the cemetery yet? I mean, maybe it's at the asylum? I don't know. I mean, I doubt it's at City Hall. But it's at a cemetery. I would imagine a church. Because churches usually have this. I honestly can't play any games with you outside of Friday and Saturday until next year. I have to get moved first before I can stay up past 1 for the hours. Hey, man, that's cool. I understand. Like, I get it. Life finds a way. No, I get it, man. You're good. I appreciate the people that can play and hang out for a while, okay? I guess it's not required, but it is appreciated. The finger-shaped stones. I don't remember where this is. And I think last week I couldn't find it either. Where was the cemetery? Maybe it's over here? But no, just imagine people that lived during the Civil War got to see, like, horrors beyond their comprehension. Like, they got to see the world change in a way that just, you know, they couldn't even fathom existing. And I kind of feel like we're living through that now. You know, we have just advanced so far. Even from when I was a kid, we've advanced so far, so fast. It's honestly kind of scary. It really is. Just the amount of stuff we can now do that we used to not be able. Where is my God? Right here. No, that's not it. That's not a cemetery. It really is incredible. I mean, just like people got to see the. If you're Civil War, you grew up at a time before indoor plumbing, right? At least not like what we have. And in that time frame, you got to see, if you were a little kid, you got to see the invention of the airplane, its introduction, its application in war. You were introduced to, like, the first submarine. Let's see, ironclads. You were introduced to, like, the modern warship. Like, there were so many freaking advancements in the early 1900s. It's incredible. And people in the Civil War, if they were younger when it happened, they got to see a lot of that. If I'm remembering my math right. I could be having a fever dream. The NyQuil may be hitting me hard. Who knows? I am, I'm sorry. I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out where the frickin', I'm trying to remember where I don't remember where the cemetery is. That's obviously not right. Fish market. Mm-hmm. Nope. There's not that many, like, big places for that, but I feel like it's... Maybe it's here? Maybe. I doubt it. I mean, now I'm just firing through places to figure it out. The finger-shaped stones. The Church of Redemption! Hey, at least... Look, at least somebody gets redeemed around here. Ah, okay, cemetery. Aha! See, cemetery. Look, I knew that if I looked hard enough, I'd eventually just stumble upon it. So, finger-shaped stones. Finger-shaped stones. Go away. Alright, I'm looking for phallic-like objects, but not with any openings in the tips. Okay, so, oh dear, oh dear. I'm just now noticing this. Wait, hold on. Is this dirt or concrete? Yeah, this is concrete. How is this on concrete? What has happened here? Finger-shaped stones at the cemetery. Unless I'm at the wrong cemetery. Is there more than one cemetery here? I don't even know. Those, maybe? No, I doubt it. It's probably an obvious entrance, so I think that I may be looking a little bit too hard. Hides in her tomb beneath the finger-shaped stones. What kind of shit-ass concrete are you used to? This looks like broken asphalt. Okay, fine. Asphalt, not concrete. I meant it as a colloquial catch-all. It's not sand and dirt. Also, how many cemeteries does this small town need? What kind of... Oh, look at this. Aha! Historical heritage. Older than you think. It didn't help me at all. None of this helps me at all. Have you seen this town? I mean, okay, fair enough. There's a lot of dead bodies here. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to Google this one. Not because I don't think I can figure it out, but because I'd like to actually do something today. It's needed. The game of guides! Let us find out. Would you like a butt plug ring? A what? Never mind. Continue. Oh, good lord. Let's see here. Yes. We do all that. Read through all that. Search for the vampire report. Yes. Yeah, you already did that. Yes. We already did that. Visited the... You did all that. Yeah, we did that. Okay, very good. Okay, now... you already did that. Oh, I'm not even close. Okay, so... I think I figured it out. Let's see, I think I figured it out. I know I figured it out because I had somebody tell me. They did a very terrible job of telling you what this was, because they... Oh, good, it's the New York Times.
Buy a paper, mister?
No, because they just... All you do is lie. You don't even eat hot chip, you just lie. It's over here. I did not realize there was a... I really wish they would have marked that off as having a cemetery, but they didn't, because that's just dumb. Why would you ever mark off, like, landmarks? That would be retarded. Whee! I'm not gonna lie, if I ever had a multi-billion-dollar mansion, I'd also have angels kneeling in prostrate form like that, because that's how you do those things.
Good day to you, kind sir. I hope that angels will be more merciful to you than they were with me. Oh, poor me.
Yes, poor you.
Did something happen?
Some Danes robbed the graves in the cemetery. If I don't find the body soon, city council will find out.
Oh, no.
But I have no idea where to start. I'll be fired. I know it. And it's the only job I'm fit for. That's what my mama said.
Wow. Oh, sounds... Oh, god dang. Again? Okay, hold on. Alright, let's try this again.
I can help you. I'm quite experienced at finding people alive, usually.
Oh, thank the angels.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It actually does it now more than it used
I'll
to,
repay
which
you. I
makes me
will.
unhappy.
You'll find the 3 robbed graves.
Honestly, I've been meaning to sit down and
Mark
fix it.
And you don't need
I don't
to
really know
look
what
up
it
your
is. Stop being
friggin'
you.
bodies round, sir. I can do that. Just find all 3 and tell me where they are. Please.
I'll put that on my list of things that I'm not gonna do. It honestly feels like it happens more often than it used to.
Virginia Cooper, 1887 to... Another victim of the flood.
Also, I'm
Honorable
absolutely done with
citizen.
this asshole trying to push SA. What is SA? What do you mean?
Someone spent a lot of time opening it.
SaaS. If you want a monthly fee for your software, I don't want it. Software as a service. Oh, come on. Sweet pulls at Oak. Sold sweet pulls at Oakmont. Well, he's a good man. I thought you were talking about a game for a second. Instead of you paying a one-time license, they want to pay monthly. Yeah, no, I haven't been okay with that for years. I did the same thing for let's make sure we're all loaded up. Oh, here, got an extra bullet in there. It's the same thing for World of Warcraft. I refuse to do it. I absolutely refuse to do it. I will not pay you twice for a game. No. I mean, now granted, I'll pay more for, like, you know, I'll definitely pay more for a good DLC, but I don't count that as the same. I can't care anymore. Oh, that's a good sign. Blood. Something bad's about to happen. No, I really think that the whole software as a service has ruined so much stuff.
Into the soil.
It has ruined so many different good software. It's ruined so many different developers. I think the idea of chasing all that money has really ruined a lot of companies. And I really think that if we can ever get back to what we had somewhat before at the beginning, I think we'll do better. But that's going to be a while. Wake me up after the release. Oh, that's funny. Died in self-defense. It kept EVE Online great for years. Well, that's the thing, is that if you're going to charge somebody monthly, I mean, you kind of get lazy, because you're going to get the money anyway until they decide to stop playing. So it kind of just seems like it gives you a license to do nothing. I mean, I would argue this, like, maybe to pay for servers, maybe. Hey, I need to keep the servers online. This is how much it's going to cost. Alright, we'll try to charge that, and then we have to make our money, like, adding content, you know? And again, I understand, like, from a business perspective, that's a terrible idea. But, like, to keep yourself alive and to not put yourself in a position where you get lazy and go, oh, I've made, like, $6 million this month. I'm going to simply just ignore it now. That might be those finger-shaped stones we talked about. EVE Online wasn't lazy. The game actually was really good until they started trying to bring in people with F2P mechanics. I mean, I never... Hello. Oh, look! Just conveniently a diving suit here. I wonder what I'm supposed to do here. Put on the diving suit, obviously. EVE Online was a game that I never really got into. I played it once for about 20 or 30 minutes and realized, oh no, I'm not going to do this. I have no free time. Even at the time when I had free time, I was like, no, I don't have enough free time for this. It's not going to happen. There we go. Let's put your lantern on there, bud. Oh, that didn't go very far. Good lord. Yeah, I mean, the last, like, really... See, with EVE, I didn't know anybody that played EVE. If you have time to sink into it, it's fun. It's a time sink to get anything done unless you feel like playing it a very specific way. See, that's the problem, is that even whenever I knew that I had lots of free time, I enjoyed games that... Oh, jeez. Okay, that's new. Well, not new. I'm sorry. That's they've usually been out of focus or, like, far away. That thing is, like, right in front of me. Good lord. Even when I had a lot more free time, like before Geisha and I got together, oh, jeez, what the hell, what's the matter? Why am I freaking, oh, jeez, there's another one right there, good lord, okay, don't look at that thing.
This masterfully carved tent seems like a real treasure.
Yeah. Ow. So what you're saying is that you've had free time. You would have free time before Geisha. No, I mean Geisha's not the reason it happened. It's just around that time I did other stuff. Okay, apparently I can't walk through the vents at all. All right, fine. Video game. Geisha's not the reason I don't have any free time. Although she's definitely part of it. I mean, you know, you gotta keep your lady happy. But she's not the only reason. Definitely not the only reason. That would be unfair and unfair to her, because she's actually saved me a lot of time too. I mean, she definitely helps out. Very unhappy monkey man face.
Something feels wrong with this statue. There's no trace of seaweed on it. Something feels wrong with this statue. There's no trace of seaweed on it.
Look beyond the third eye, or whatever. I'm going insane! Wait a minute. There's bodies down here. Alright, bodies? No, just rocks, never mind. Oh, hello. Oh, snap, 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 snap. Go away. Go away, you. Run! You ordered this lesson regarding the events. I did. I did. Go away, you. Oof. That's like a dinosaur bone there, huh? But she's actually saved me more time than she's actually costed. But around that time, like, life got a little more hectic. Things started happening that made it harder for me to kind of do stuff. But hello. But like around that time, I realized that even games that I enjoyed that took up large amounts of time, it just wasn't viable long term. And so even games that I thought were interesting, I didn't bother. I didn't see the point. So I was like, even if I want to do this, I'm not going to be able to do it long term. So I'm just not going to get into it. I'm just not going to deal with it. It's a cool idea. It's cool. I'm not going to play it. It's kind of like Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's not that I don't like the game. It looks really cool. I just don't have the time to play it. Kind of like Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2. Like, I really like the idea of Mountain Blade Bannerlord 2. I just don't have the time to play it. I would have to, like, play it. I mean, it's almost like Rogue Trader, but Rogue Trader, you can kind of do it in snippets. There's lots to the game. It's just, you can do it in 20 to 30 minute sprints, and that's it. Like, hell, I can't even sit down and play Hearts of Iron. Like, I mean, I can play Hearts of Iron in like 15, 20 minute stints, and that's it. Uh-oh. Let's see, do I get my... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
You. She forbids you to go further. The sorcerer still lives.
I came to put an end to you, undead abomination.
Then you will suffer. This will be your doom now.
Indeed. Oh. She didn't try to kill me just then, so that's cool. Yeah, no, look, this is totally fine. She's not a vampire at all. She's not some kind of monster. Like, look, she must give great head, okay? Hello. The power of 44 mag, you will die. Wow, that's pretty nasty. Well, this is going very well. Oh, well, that didn't take long. Okay, well, I'm glad that she died so quickly. Alright, so bullets apparently work on vampires. Isn't that nice? I don't know if I was supposed to kill this guy or not, but he's dead now. So she had one guy that she was just tormenting down here. No, you don't. How dare you call me a monster? I've done nothing but murder horrible monsters. I am not a monster. I am the man that hunts the monsters. I'm the one that keeps the children safe at night, okay? You bastard. Is that all that was here? Just that one little thing and that's it? Oh, here's some ammo. Shoot her. Okay. I bet the game wants you to like treat her like the good guy, but I refuse to do that. To me, both of these people are evil in my opinion. Like, I don't want to deal with somebody who's calling forth these monsters. I don't want to deal with one of them. So, Oosh is dead. She died like a dog. Now, I'm going to go back to the city of Rapture where I belong. Oh, wait, no, that's 30 years from now. Never mind. So Andrew Ryan's probably a child at this point, or he will be a child very soon. Nietzsche was wrong. To contend with monsters, one must become a monster. The problem with that is that his statement is still true. That's the issue. Is yes, okay, you become a monster. The problem is that once you've done that, you're no longer who you were. You know, like he's not wrong. Hello. God, what? Stop disconnecting, you stupid controller.
I found Usha. She won't bother anyone again.
That's great news. Did you gather her remains, the ashes?
I did. We need to talk, Joseph. You promised you'd tell me how to reach Katiganor.
I'll remember, don't worry. I'll need some time to gather everything. Let's meet in my lab.
Quick!
You're going
To the Crazy Man
revive her
lab.
again?
This time, it won't be as difficult. In just a short while, we'll have the answer. We can steer mankind away from catastrophe.
Dude, look at your face.
I have it all prepared. What are you waiting for?
Fast travel, mostly. You know, but there is a truth to that. I mean, even I can see that, and I've never had to deal with crap like that. Well, I've had to deal with monsters, but not in that low. Not that way. Like, metaphorical ones. Like, hey, there's a terrible person over there. Or like, hey, I haven't had to deal with like some of the things that I would consider to be monsters. He acts like you can fight monsters without becoming one. We do not have the power to fight monsters without engaging in monstrous acts. Well, yeah, but the thing is that what does he mean by monsters? The monsters I think Nietzsche talks about mostly are men. Like mankind itself. Like we are the most horrifying monsters on the planet. There is no other being on this planet that makes war with itself unendingly, cannot get along with its neighbors, and cannot deal with boundaries. Like, this is the problem with humanity inherently, is that, I mean, yes, we want to conquer the world, metaphorically speaking. You may not become a permanent monster, but you must be a monster in the process of fighting. Once you become a monster, there's no going back. I will stand my ground. I will die on this hill. Once you have become, once you've committed a monstrous act, that act makes you a monster, regardless of whether you do it or not again. Like that I will say is a 100% fact. That may seem harsh and unfair. I would argue right there that a monstrous act of any kind makes you a monster regardless of why. That doesn't mean it's not justified in some capacity. You know? Like, it doesn't mean that people won't say, look, I understand I can't judge you for it. Like, for instance, let's say that, you know, you're a parent and somebody hurts your kid. Then you consider every soldier as a permanent... Yes. Yes, I do. But that doesn't make them, like... Okay. I have family that's in the military. I almost were in the military. But you have to be. You have to be. I mean, if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna kill people, whether for good reasons or not, you must become something of a monster. And I don't think that... And if you sit there and you say, well, I don't like the way that sounds, I understand you don't like the way it sounds. I get that might be a little bit harsh. It's not meant to be. But it's true. I mean, how human is it to absolutely murder somebody, or just blow somebody up, or for instance, let's say blow their head off with an RPG? Like, these are all monstrous things to do to people. I think having the ability to restrain or switch off means you are a permanent monster. The act itself makes you one. And again, I am not saying that means you're a bad person. It just means that you are a monster. That doesn't, like, there are good monsters, if you want to look at it this way. Like, there are fancy creatures in Greek mythology that aren't terrible. Again, I think that what you do defines you. It's why a lot of people, like a lot of soldiers, have guilt. They understand that once you've done something to somebody, or seen it done to somebody, it is monstrous. It is something that sits with you. You can't get rid of it. I understand you disagree, but I think that the act itself makes you a monster. And again, I don't sit there saying, look how much better I am, because I've never had to do it. It's not that. It really isn't. I just think that once you've done something monstrous, that makes you a monster, metaphorically speaking. I've got family that I would say have blown people up. I mean, I've got cousins that have absolutely blown people to shreds in Iraq and Afghanistan. 100%. I don't think of them any differently than I would anybody else. But I do recognize the fact that these people have committed atrocities. Nope, not doing that. Now, they may have done atrocities for good reasons. They may have done it for the right reasons. Still doesn't make a difference. Hello. By disagree, I mean you're wrong. You can say I'm wrong all you want to. It is my opinion. Think of it this way. In order to defeat the enemy, you must become a monster, right? Like, you have to. And that is, but it's either kill or be killed. You are forced into it in some capacity. And, okay, let's look at it from the extreme standpoint, right? If I do not win, my enemy will. What will my enemy do to me once he wins? He will destroy me, he will subjugate me, and he will murder me. Okay, then the only ethical response is to fight back with equal or more tenacity than the enemy. Okay, so that means that I must do monstrous things by the sheer fact that he will do monstrous things. It is not a moral judgment to say that somebody is a monster. It just means that you have crossed a threshold that essentially you cannot go back. Once you have done it, you cannot undo it. And once that is done, you can rationalize it, you can take it any way you want to. You have done it. For good or ill, you have done it. And again, like I said, it doesn't mean you're an evil person. But it is still an act of evil that you have committed. Again, even if you are forced into it, this is good is either good or bad is either, you know, either good is good or bad is bad. Like, you can't have them be like, well, you have a mix here and there. No. Like, if you're blowing people to shreds, that's a bad thing. You may be doing it for the right reasons. You may not have a choice. Your enemy may have forced you into it. It is the paradox of this entire argument. You don't have a choice. That doesn't mean it's good. I know some people that might be very, very pro-military, and again, it is a very complicated thing to talk about. I don't consider destroying someone who's a threat to you as a bad thing. That's a good thing. Maybe I misworded that a little bit, but the idea is that you are still. Hold on, wasn't I supposed to be going to the lab? Power Street. Northern Salvation Harbor, which isn't that where I'm at? Nope, I'm not. Okay, Salvation Harbor is down here. Okay, so Salvation Harbor. I'm going Hidden Lab. Wrong. Okay, so I went to the wrong place. Whoopsies. But okay, so you're right. It is still, it's not a bad thing to do that, but it's still monstrous to do it. So for instance, like again, if if you are blowing something up and you kill an enemy, that's fine, but it is still a monstrous act. Once you have done that, you can't go back from it. Once you have kind of consigned yourself to doing this, you have still committed a monstrous act, whether good or ill. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I think you're looking at the word monster as a moral judgment, when in reality, I don't see it that way. It is something that stains you that you can never get rid of and you can never fully wash away. You know, you can forget about it. You can do what my granddad did. My granddad fought in the Pacific War. Let's just say Granddad had some really nasty monsters in his closet. He did some pretty terrible things. Up to and including burning people in their homes. Whenever I met him, he was the nice, kindly old man that played chess with me and taught me how to play chess, and I loved him for it. And it wasn't until after he died that I learned more about him, and he did a lot of good things. My grandfather was a monster. Absolutely he was. I don't blame him for it. I don't hate him for it. Now I'm looking at it not making someone a permanent monster. You can switch it off. Therefore it's not a permanent condition. The act itself makes it. That's what I'm saying, is that I look at it from the standpoint of that the act itself. Okay, think of it this way. Alright, so let's break this down even further, right? I'm gonna make some people very unhappy. Are you a liar? Right? This is a simple question. If you say no, I guarantee you that you're lying. If you say yes, it makes you feel like a bad person. Well, I don't lie a lot. It's like that's not the question. Have you lied? If you have lied, ever, you are a liar. Right? If you have committed a monstrous act, that forever changes you. Now, I use the lie analogy because it's something very, very simple that we've all done. We are all guilty of telling lies. Every one of us, without question. Not all of us are guilty of committing monstrous acts on the same level as war crimes. But we have all at least lied once, making all of us liars. That's not the question. The moniker liar indicates someone who regularly engages... God dang... Okay, I don't know what this thing is doing, but it doesn't... for some reason, it just keeps disconnecting my controller. I don't really know why. That makes me feel unhappy and very uncomfortable. Something to gain, engaged in it as something to gain an advantage. Well, there's also compulsive liars. People that can't help it. You're using a controller. That's the problem. Shut up. No, I refuse to stop. No, a liar is a state of being.
Have you got what we needed from her?
Yes, yes, it all went better than expected. She revealed a lot, though not all of it I wanted to hear.
Oh, good.
What did she say about the ruins under Oakmont?
It was some sort of temple or prison. I do not think she knows. She was just one member of the cult that worshipped the monoliths.
Is that all? I'm underwhelmed. And did you answer our most pressing question, how to get into Katiganor?
Yes. Usha said you must find something called a K-finger on each of 3 monoliths. The first is in the city center, with 2 elsewhere. I take that once you've found the 3 K-fingers, you can complete the seal and then return to the central monolith to open the path.
I thought you were going to assist on my quest.
Not this time. There's a complication.
What sort of complication?
If what she told me is true, only those like you can use the seal.
Oh, no.
I would lose my mind by even trying.
How can I make the central monolith open?
At least that part's easy. There's a place on it to put the seal.
Ah, you mean the seal, like the thing that barks?
Did Usha mention how to locate the 3 monoliths?
Apparently the fire worshippers know. I think they're at St. Michael's Church of the Burning Bush.
Well, I guess I'll start there. What waits inside? How will I know what to do to stop this madness from spreading?
It must be simple. She told me in her time they sent a man in who was able to fix it. If a Mayan savage succeeded, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Did he return?
I didn't ask.
So, I
Hello,
just
Mr.
have
Guns
to
and Knives.
find
We are
3
discussing
monoliths
philosophy.
to enter Katiganor.
I know, we go from retard to, like, war
Good luck,
crimes
Reed.
to more war
I'll
crimes
continue to gather
to
information.
random
Certainly
bits of
inform
history
you of
to
any
what
important
is truth. Now we are discussing what makes a person a monster.
What else can be done if the living know nothing?
I don't know, mister. I don't need you anyway. Good luck with that.
I hope you take extra precautions this time.
I learn from my mistakes, Mr. Reed.
Alright, so and here's the thing. If we are talking colloquially, Fokker, I don't disagree with your point. Because it's easier to understand that way. But again, I would say on a personal level, doing any act of performing any monstrous act on any person beyond what is necessary or required makes you a monster. My grandfather, in order to survive World War II, committed many monstrous acts, and he also fought in Korea. Many horrible things he did. Socrates, Nietzsche, Confucius. Well, we're all confused, so that's okay. I am the seed. Let's see. I should take the moment to recuperate at the Devil's Reef Hotel before entering Katiganar. Okay. Can this be it? Are we done here? We are discussing what actually makes a monster. So Nietzsche's statement of let's see. Let me remember this right. Be careful lest ye become a monster while hunting monsters. But that was required. So that invalidates what you just said. It was necessary to both survive and achieve the goals. You are correct. That does not make the act any less monstrous. For instance, dropping a nuclear weapon an atomic weapon. Your grandfather saw the worst side of humanity. He did. He fought in the Pacific. He saw the worst shit you could see. He saw people's dicks get cut off and placed on the road. Like, he saw nasty stuff. He was not in a position... by the way, he was horrendously hateful towards Japanese people. I didn't say it made the act now monstrous. I meant he wasn't a permanent monster. See, I would disagree with you. It became a part of him once he did it. You can't run away from it. So think of it this way. My grandfather never could run away from that stuff. He could never run away from it. You know how I know that? Because he wouldn't tell anybody about it. He was not proud of it. As a matter of fact, he was so not proud of it. Okay. I wish I had his uniform. It's not near me. It is adorned with a bunch of little metal bits saying he did such a good job. He won like 3 or 4, silver stars He won, like, I think he won, like, not Medal of Honors, but he won, like, so many different medals. If I was a Marine of the Pacific back then, I'd hate the Japanese too. Yeah, I know, right? Don't get me wrong, I would as well. I don't blame him for that. I don't blame him for anything that he did. Obviously, oh god. Uh-oh. Oh no. I want to go rest. Oh look, there's a coin here and a dead lady here. Oh, now he's going to become Two-Face. Shoot her! Shoot her! Oh, that's the sign of the dead or whatever. You gotta pay the toll, man. You gotta pay the toll, man. No, but again, I don't blame him for whatever. I don't blame him for that. He did what he had to do, but he could never get away from it. The stain of what he did was always with him. He could never get away. The coins over the eyes, where is it in the mouth? No, that's what they did. Coins over the eyes or coins of the mouth. That was the one of the few ways you could do it. I think some did both, but I think some cultures did both, but I don't remember which ones. But I know that it was... Oh, hello. We are going to... Yeah, we're not going to do that. We are immediately going to give ourselves some cocaine. It's all about the coin. What does it mean?
Never again, they say.
What does it mean? The Protestants, dark aeons before the age of man. This is my fate. Will the one who succeeds die? Alright, so, but yeah, like, my grandfather, what he did, he could never escape from it. He was not proud of it. He was not happy about it. As a matter of fact, that he even understood his visceral hatred for Japanese people was something that was wrong. He understood that, but he still couldn't stop himself from hating them. Why? Because he saw way too many people get murdered viciously by the Japanese. He hated them. He despised them. Now, I know some people say, oh my god, he's a racist. Like, well, you would be too. Like, imagine watching, like, seeing some captured American soldiers viciously mutilated over and over and over again. You would hate them too. Oh, by the way, they would do stuff like, oh, I'm going to blow your foot off for the sake of making your foot blown off. I mean, come on. Like, I can't blame the guy for not liking them. I can't blame him for burning people out of their homes. Like, I really can't. He did what he had to do to survive. I get that. On Saipan, the Japanese told the locals on the island Americans would kill their bait. Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, Geisha's family constantly, when they talk about World War II, they would talk about some of the really crazy stuff they would hear on the radio. Well, I guess not them, but like their grandparents would. And some of the nasty stuff that the Japanese would say about Americans, like how they were all rapists and murderers. They even encouraged women to kill themselves because they were afraid of being like violated by the American soldiers. Now, I'm sure that happened. I mean, it's wartime. Obviously, there's going to be some bad stuff like that happens. Obviously, no war doesn't have its dark. Well, every war is just a dark underbelly of society, unleashing the worst of humanity upon the world. You introduce that, yeah, you're going to have problems, but not everybody's going to do that. As a matter of fact, I think that there was even some French people when the Germans invaded and then the Americans freed them. There were some French that said, "Wow, the Germans weren't so vicious to us. Like, at least they let us do things, and they didn't steal all of our stuff. Americans stole everything that wasn't nailed down." Most American troops were decent towards locals. Depends on where you were. Also, it depends on what they had to go through. But you had, like, they would tell us stories about how, Geisha's grandmother was shocked whenever Hirohito got on the radio and said that he was not a god. Like, that is the level of delusion that some of these people were operating under. The fact that the emperor himself came on the radio and said, no, I am not a god, I am just a man. Like, that blew people's minds. That shattered their worldview. The emperor could never lose. He was a god. Like, that was the thing. And so for Hirohito to get on the radio, that was kind of that was their 9/11 moment, I guess you could probably say it in modern day speak. Is that earth-shattering, wow, my worldview's been turned upside down moment. So like, that's a pretty humbling thing, right? But to understand that that was the basis from what they were operating out of, they're going to do monstrous and horrible things to anyone that they seem as a threat. And even then, they thought the Americans were more noble than everybody else. Like that's the other part about World War II that nobody wants to talk about. This is the insanity of this. So the Japanese believe that the Chinese and all the other Asian peoples were race traitors, essentially. They believe that the Chinese and the the Koreans and everybody else, they were all traitors to the Japanese race, and they were all under one Japanese like family. Does this sound familiar to anything in the modern day right now? Does it? You know, but at least they also saw the rest of the world like this too. However, they severely hated those that were Asian. I thought you finished this. I'm not finished. Nothing. They also thought that the Americans. Well, think of it this way. A long time ago in their history, you had these groups that separated and branched off from the Japanese culture. America, or the white man, was more noble because he fought and won, whereas the rest of them just kind of separated slowly. So that's not racist. This is true. This is 100% true. You want to go digging through historical records and documents to go figure that out? You can.
I'm watching you.
Oh, shut up,
newcomer.
You want to go read through yourself? You can. I'm giving you the cliff notes. They actually liked Americans more, and they still hated Americans. Like this is the fun part. You said white people were racist. Oh well, I did. I take a moment to recuperate the devil's development friend. Okay. I did. Did I not? Did I not take a nap? A little nappy nap? Okay. Hell yeah. Alright, so I have recuperated, I guess? But even then, they would do horrible things to the Americans. They did something worse to everyone else. That's kind of the dirty little thing behind all this, is that the rest of the Asian peninsula got way worse. They believed the Emperor was a god, and their troops were dying for a god in their minds. Yes, exactly. 100%. And what will you not do? What would you not do for the living god? I mean, like, seriously, what atrocity is too much? So yeah, like my grandfather, whenever he came back from World War II, according to my mom and my grandmother, he drank like a sailor, because he was one. And he felt terrible for the things that he had to do. He never could separate what he did and who he was. Never could. Walter, can I help you if I hear you're peddling your cheap, affordable living again? I could live with you renting out beast-ridden flop houses, but you're cutting into my profit. Don't make that mistake. Western people are more individualistic, and the East is more collective. Well, yeah, it is. I know you're on the fish market, and I have dangerous people living here that I can send after you. You've been warned, Vic. Oh, jeez. I never noticed the freaking snow crab that was up there. But you know, I mean, like, it's the truth. I mean, like, he never could separate out the things that he did and the thing and who he was. Like, they were a part of himself. I might survive. Alright, so when I'm ready, I'll return to my room in the Devil's Reach for the rest of Okay, so this is it. This is the end game, I guess. So, can I not go now? Are there still living are there celebrities who believe their emperor is still living? No, I don't think so. The emperor is a figurehead. Actually, it is one of the oldest monarchs in existence. It is literally one of the oldest monarchs. I think I think it is the oldest living imperial dynasty. They can date their existence before feudal Japan, and that's a very long time. The source of the spreading madness is the dreamer's hidden daughter, locked in Katigana, an eldritch prison beneath Oakmont. Only the seed can enter Katigana, and may open it or close it for one more cycle. The entrance to Katiganar is the monolith in Central Advent. To open it, I must complete the seal by finding 3 stone cave fingers growing on 3 monoliths around the city. The first is on the central monolith. To find the other 2, I'll need to seek out the fire worshippers. Yawn. What do you mean, yawn? So the niche monolith in Central Advent. Central Advent. But not DC. We're talking about what makes somebody a monster. But I would genuinely say that once you've done something monstrous, you can never get rid of it. I don't believe you can. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that you've done something that you can't come back from. Yeah, you can always walk back lots of different things. You can always, apologize to somebody for the things that you've said to them. But it's going to be a lot harder to undo something as damaging as a monster. They become a Twitch streamer and act like a dick. Ah, so me. Very good. Oh, look, Tiki Torches. Not the Proud Boys, I'm sorry. Patriot Front is here. Hooray! Hello?
I can smell the gasoline even from here. Why would anyone need so much?
Oh, sunshine. They're about to light this church up, man.
Those who are pure shall rest by his feet, and their souls will rejoice, and they will sing
will not
forever
replace us,
among
exactly.
the angels.
Except for the Patriot Front's run by, they're run by the cops. I mean, I'm just saying.
The lid's not closed tightly, and there's still some gas in the can. Seems like it was opened recently.
Yeah, it's that one protest and the guy sets himself on fire and just sits there in the 60s. He's a goddamn hippie. Glowies, exactly. Harness the flame, harness the mist. Wow, these people just... Good lord. Yeah, well, I must say, that's pretty creepy. I'll give him that, man. That's pretty unnerving, man. These people are literally glowing, though. The time has come, brothers and sisters. We must cleanse ourselves before we face the new world. We shall leave behind all our sorrows and passions, and meet our new lives pure. Join the cleansing at St. Michael's Church of the Burning Bush. Oh. Brothers and sisters, please be careful. The end of the cycle is nigh, and wild beasts have begun to inadvertently emerge in some of our premises. If you are visiting the Zetetic Room, please exercise extreme caution and be sure to bear arms.
The door won't budge.
Your game selection is unnerving. It's true. It is unnerving. I sometimes scare myself. But that's because I have a very low tolerance for fear. I don't like it.
You scared me.
I thought you were supposed to be burning your bush.
Are you late for the cleansing too?
I know of at least... I know there's the famous one. Guns N' Knives. I know there's one. I was hoping, but hopes were dashed. The same fucking character model. He ain't scared enough. I'm Charles
My
Reed.
name's Charles Reed, and you are...
I'm Sherlock
Meryl.
Holmes.
But just call me sister. We're all family after all, right?
Yeah, sure.
What happened here?
The cleansing. This cycle has come to its end, and the next is about to begin. So we must purify ourselves in the fire.
Wait, you mean they did it to themselves?
With joy, brother. Joy.
Yes.
We have waited long for this moment, but soon the cycle will begin anew, and we will be reborn in the new world, cleansed. You can leave all this behind, brother. A fresh start. Join us.
But how do you know? What if it's just suicide?
If the cycle doesn't restart, then we are truly blessed. For we'll avoid the great calamity. Angels showed us those horrors in our dreams. If we are not reborn in the new cycle, then the seed has succeeded, and the daughter is free, and that is no world worth living in.
I'm gonna look for
Have you
that.
seen a place on this monolith with a piece of stone growing from it. I couldn't see anything on the outside.
Oh, I know what you speak of. It's at the bottom of the basement.
You're a fire worshiper, yeah? Do you know which of the monoliths opens the way beneath the city?
Why do you ask?
I am the seed.
It's where I need to go. I am the seed.
It's you, Kay Bless. Father Nicholas knew you'd come to us. We were watching our dreams for you.
What are you talking about?
Angels would whisper to us in our sleep. We had to listen to them, remember them, write down their messages, all so you could find what you seek.
So you're basically, what is it called? Was it tape recorders? Is that what we used to use back in the day? There was voicemail, but it's for like your house. They're just little tape recorders. Like, oh yeah, by the way, can you also remember to get the milk?
Okay. Does that mean you know which monoliths are needed to open the way?
Me? No. No, I dreamed just a fraction of what was needed. But Father Nicholas put it all together. His notes are hidden downstairs, so that only you may find them. Take the key to the lower rooms. I think Father Nicholas left it on the altar.
Are you planning to immolate yourself?
It is the cleansing, yes.
You'll die in agony. He'll die in agony.
You might want to think about it. You'll scream and scream in pain as the fire burns your flesh. It would be a slow and awful way to die.
Well, yes. Oh, maybe I should reconsider.
Yeah. Prevent the last self-immolation. Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Like, let's not do that. Yeah, to answer your question, I don't know of any of the... I don't know if there's a lot of them. I know some of them, or at least one of them. And that's the big one, right? That's the one we all know of. That's the guy who sat in the street, set himself on fire, and people just watched as that guy was protesting, I think, the Vietnam War. Or at least that's what I was told. I have no idea why he actually did it. I've never looked into it. But I know of the one. Now, like many things in history, just because somebody tells you that's what it is, I would not take it at face value. For all I know, that guy was doing it for 1,000 other reasons, and maybe he was high as a kite. The amount of discipline it takes to immolate yourself and just sit there quietly as you burn to death requires, I mean, just inhuman amounts of willpower. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I've been burned, but not on that level. I've had bones broken, and I cried like a little baby. These are not painless things. Like it's not great. Not great at all. But fire burn, fire hot, fire really hot. If you haven't played Far Cry 5, I recommend you play it. It also has a crazy cult in it. I know of Far Cry 5. I have never played it. I think I own it on my Xbox and on my PC. It's been a game I've been meaning to play. But I remember there was a song or something that people really liked about it. I think it's the right one. Fire Doesn't Burn. It's a lie perpetrated by the Deep State. Oh, it's Big Fire? Is that what it is? It's Big Fire? NWO lies. Listen. Jeez, I can't even do it. Listen. Fire doesn't burn. It's actually really cool. It's nice. The Lord has established his throne in heaven among the tongues of flame and fiery pits. Those who are pure shall rest by his feet, and their souls will rejoice, and they will sing forever among the angels. The sinners, contrariwise, shall go to hell, the hame of devil sunken below, with its cold streets of silver cobblestones, where they'll rest in eternal suffering until the end of time. And you became the very thing they swore to destroy. Well, I mean, that's usually most organizations. Like, most organizations become the horrible thing they don't like. Alright, let's go.
Lucid dreaming, dream wandering. Someone's been studying hard.
Can't carry any more of that. Alright. The Onion hasn't been funny for so long. I mean, really. What the hell? Go away! Out. Ow. More? Oh god, more. There we go. Somebody's been sleeping on an altar. It's not weird at all. You either die here or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's really crazy how good that actual line is, because it's kind of true. It's kind of my point, isn't it? The human blood is to find treasures of the ones who are not human anymore. The first stone will drop the shadow on his dwelling. 3 lives take their start among the iron horses in the shadow of the second stone. The waters will wash away the first blood they spill. At last, the dreams of my brothers and sisters have started to become clear. The cycle has come to its end. Time to perform the cleansing so our souls can retain their memory, their purpose. I put together all the signs from our dreams and hid them so only the Seed can find them. They'll help him find what he seeks. Seed, if you are reading this, I hope you'll restart the cycle so that we may meet in the next one. I actually am not really... It's been too much time since I've read the other ones.
Sleeping draft. A strong one.
Laudanum. I remember taking laudanum. You will sleep, I'll give you that. Okay.
This must be part of the seal.
Hello. Dead.
Looks like this was left for me.
Alright. The first monolith, by its mere presence, shall transform a man from ordinary to renowned. Once the water rises, he will divine inhuman treasures never before seen, drawing crowds and acclaim to his humble abode. Many shall praise him, transcribe his words, and share his face on paper. Seek the monolith, for it hides what the Seed desires under the azure cloak. The second monolith, portentous and proud, shall be delivered unto Oakmont with disciples 3, each identical to the last. They shall enter this world at an uncertain hour as the first young citizens of Oakmont after the waters rise. Seek the monolith, for it holds that which the Seed desires. Alright. Slowly, my sanity begins to regenerate. Alright, let's get out of here. If I go up there and she's going to self-immolate, I'm going to be unhappy. Madam, let's make sure that you didn't just self-immolate. Well, she's gone, so whatever. Fine. Fine then. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Fucker. Yeah, no, once you've committed a monstrous act, you are a monster. Whether for good or ill, like I said. Whether for good reasons or bad, doesn't make a difference. Restart the cycle to save mankind. Alright, the first monolith by its mere presence shall transform man from ordinary to renowned. I have to do some studying here. Negative. Some of us are unfettered by things like that. You cannot do that. Like, you cannot simply... Okay. There is a certain thing that, for among human beings... Okay, fine. How about this? If you break the neck of a puppy, can you just, you just walk away from it? Does that not affect you? Like, you think that doesn't say something about you? You think that's like a line that you shouldn't cross? I mean, like, I use it as an example because it's something that's easily something we could all say, oh no, that person's a freaking monster. Yeah, no, absolutely they are. They've taken a puppy. It depends on the reason for doing so. No, this is the reason. The reason is you broke the puppy's neck. There is nothing else there. On what reason would you ever break a puppy's neck? Would it be okay? I'm just curious. What would be your reasoning for doing so? If it was going to die anyway, it was in pain. There are better ways to do that than breaking a puppy's neck. But again, okay, well, if that's the argument, all puppies are going to die one day. All dogs are going to die. All cats are going to die. We're all going to die. A murderer is forever a murderer, even if they're forgiven. A cannibal is forever a cannibal, even if they... Thank you. See, once you have crossed a line, you can never uncross it. That doesn't mean you can't be reformed, but that does mean that you are forever tainted by the thing that you have done. This is why I said, like, it's something very simple, like a liar. Once you have lied, you are forever a liar. Not because that you always lie, but because now you have proven yourself to be untrustworthy. And again, it doesn't mean that, like, oh, no one should ever listen to you, and you should never ever, like, worry about. No. It's simply just a scenario where it's just the reality. Let's see. Second monolith protected us proud shall be delivered unto Oakmont with disciples 3. Each they shall enter this world in an uncertain hour. The first young citizens of Oakmont after the waters rise. See the monolith for it holds. Let's be after the flood. Citizen records. Newcomers. Nope. Citizens? There we go. People can change, but your past is your past. This is why if that was the case, if it wasn't, why would we care about body count for women? All the statistical things that that this plays to, yeah, these are all things that affect you in your past. You can't undo, and you cannot undo what you have done in the past. You can do things better in the future, but you can't undo the past. Now, again, like I said, it doesn't mean that, like, let me do this. Let's see here. Where's... Nope. Okay. That doesn't mean that there weren't good reasons for doing so. That doesn't mean that there weren't justifiable reasons for doing so, like in the case of my grandfather in World War II. He had a completely justifiable reason for doing what he was doing. However, he can never undo what he did, even though I guarantee you he wanted to. Like, as much as some people say, like, oh no, I mean, he was a World War II veteran. Why would he ever feel bad about, saving America? He didn't feel bad about that. What he did feel bad about was the fact that he ended up killing a lot of innocent people inadvertently. And there's nothing you can do about that. You're stuck with it. Even if it was an accident. Let's be very charitable. Let's say he blew up somebody's house because he thought it was a bad guy in it, right? What if he's wrong? You just killed a bunch of innocent people. For what reason? I mean, the reason is because he thought there was a bad guy in it. It's a good, it's not a bad reason, but it's still he killed a bunch of innocent people. You're either, he's a murderer. I guarantee you. Your grandfather... No, he was a CB in World War II. Which most people think, oh, CBs, he shouldn't be seeing lots of combat. He did. He saw a lot of combat. Because he was spearheading the Marines. But before the Marines came in, he went in. That's what his job was. He would actually clear and secure areas so that they could have depots. And what they would do is he was actually, I don't know if you could even find him anymore. He was part of a group called the Forgotten 55. It was a small group of members of the Marine Corps. Well, actually, let's take it back. He was a pilot, too. He was a pilot as well. He's a pilot, a small boat captain, and a very, very vicious soldier, if any of the stories that have been told to me are true. And his service record shows that. Like, he was vicious. But it was usually because he had to, not because he necessarily wanted to. At least that's what I gathered by the way that he would act about it. Like, he never wanted to talk about his service. Ever. And I think part of that was looking me in the face as a little kid, just realizing, like, at least whenever you're younger and you're doing something like that, CBs were badass in World War II. Yeah, he would go in and he would basically be like, hey, we have to turn this forest into an airfield. And he would do that, and then he would move on to the next location. And so there's a story that I think that his commanding officer would tell where basically they would leave their letters in secret places so that if the Japanese ever came in behind them, they wouldn't know where they were. But his job was to go in, build little depots, secure the area, and clear it, and then go to the next location as the Marines were hopping from island to island. And so they would leave letters to be sent back, but the thing is they would never know if their letters were picked up, and their mail would show up like a month and a half later than it should. And so if they ever got their mail, it was way, way, way after they had already sent it. So, like, he'd write 4 letters, and by the time that he had sent the 4th one, a month and a half later, he would have gotten the response from the first one. Like, so you'd be a year and a half behind or a year behind on your mail. And then they would kind of get drip fed because one of the stories was that the guys that did the mail routes in World War II were so frustrated because they could never find their unit, and when they would go to the commanding officer, they would go, well, on paper they're over here, and he's like, well, are they there? And he's like, no. He's like, well, where are they? And he goes, I have no idea. They'll tell us where they are when we get to the next location. It wouldn't be until finally they would like find an American ship, like, oh, this is America. Okay, let's go find out where the unit is. That was Granddad. Let's see. We need to find. Let's just go to one of the places we go. That's classified. I mean, yes. My grandfather was involved in a few little. Okay, there is a book on my shelf right now, and it is a collection of all the things that he did in World War II in Korea. It is literally his time in World War II in Korea. He refused to talk about anything they did at all. He did, however, want me to see it after he died. The way that my grandfather acted about it, and again, I'm a huge history buff. I have cracked one page of that, and it is my grandfather standing next to a very large, like what looks like a large flower, and that's it. I refuse to open any more of it. I know my grandfather did horrible things in World War II. I mean, I know that. It's not a problem to me. I can live with that. But he didn't want to tell me. And again, I was a little kid. I'm not going to blame him for that. Wasn't there normally somebody here? So I kind of feel like it'd be... I have this really weird conflicted feeling. I don't really want to see it. Not because I'm not curious, but because if he was so unhappy about me knowing it while he was alive, I don't think that it would be right for me to know whenever he died. Because then I can't ask him questions. Now I'm just getting... Here are the things that happened. No context outside of like, hey, we did this or we did that. I think my mom looked through it, and it was the one thing that Granddad left me when he died. It was his time in Korea and Japan. So again, I kind of take it as a, yeah, he left it for me to kind of see. Do you think he was afraid you would think less of him? I think he was. Because Granddad after World War II was a very different person than before World War II, per what I am told. To the point where, so after World War II, my grandfather drank very heavily. He left my grandmother. He disappeared for years. Drank himself under the table and basically banged every single flight attendant he ever worked with. This is somebody who became he was a piece of shit for a long time. I never knew him like that. But whatever happened to him changed him drastically to the point where that's what it did to him. And it wasn't until my mother was dying of pneumonia, and I literally just with disbelief, essentially, that Grandma called him, was like, if you would like to say goodbye to your daughter, now is the time to do so, because she's probably not going to last much longer, because the pneumonia is basically sinking in. He showed up finally after like a decade of missing. Like that's how long he goes on this binge and just goes nuts. And it wasn't until he heard a gospel preacher on the TV. What was it? I remember. Yeah, let me try to remember the story. He was sitting in his apartment, essentially naked, just walking around, drinking heavily, and he hears a preacher on the TV talking about something, and he says that spoke to him in a way that he never really felt before. To the point where he went from a horrible alcoholic to one of the... he never picked up a bottle again. He dumped it out and never touched it again. He went back home. He apologized to my grandmother, who took him back, and they spent the rest of their life very happy together. It was a complete 180. But that's the way the story is told to me, and I would have never known my grandfather to have been that way had somebody not told me. because I was a little kid. First, they're not going to tell me. Second, they never gave any hint or indication that their lives were that jacked up. And now, think about that. They stayed married for over a decade. Yeah, no, absolutely. They found peace together. Absolutely, 100%. And whenever Grandma died, he was sold on the idea that he was going to go first. He was 100% sold on the idea that he was going to go first. There was no doubt in his mind. And I think that was kind of the leftover part. Even he would say, "Oh well, whenever I'm gone, you just spend more time with Grandma. She'll love seeing you when you get older." And yeah, he would talk about that. He would say stuff like that. He was convinced he was going to die first. But when Grandma died first, it took so much out of him. Like, it was crazy. He went from a very active old man. This is the same man who built a biplane in his barn because he was bored. And when the government came and told him that he couldn't do that, he told them to go fuck themselves. This is the man I aspire to be. Like, I want to be this guy. Not the cheating part, but the part where I'm like, I'm just so old. I don't think I get away with it because he's a World War II vet, a decorated World War II vet. But like, that's the kind of person I want to be. Whenever I'm going to be the old crazy man when like the FBI shows up going, "Hey, you can't build that." And I look at him in the eye and I go, "You're going to fucking stop me?" That's the man I want to be. And just go back to building my biplane in the barn. I think he had some old TNT in there too. That was like, what was it? The nitroglycerin was seeping out of it. It was awesome. Like, and I remember the biplane because over the years, like, he was building it piece by piece. And so what he would do is he would build, like, he had the frame up there when I was really little. Before he retired, I saw the farm they were at. Before he retired, he had the frame. It was just the frame and like a little bit of canvas, like in the corner. And then when I went again, I was a little bit older, and like the engine was in there. It was mostly there was canvas all over it, but there was still missing pieces. And before he died, it was 100% functional. He just never flew it. And I think he had been visited by the government. I can't remember if it was the state or the feds, because somebody had like said, "Hey, he bought like an engine. He bought this. We don't really know why." And because of all this other crap, sounds like the movie Secondhand Lions. I've never seen it, but it was really, really funny. Like, to hear this story, and my stepdad and my mother were so angry because my mom forgot about the plane. She knew that it was there. She just forgot about it. And she was so unhappy. She was so unhappy about this because then she had to explain to the cops why there was a plane in like the barn. And like, I don't know what it was about that made them so unhappy. Because my first response was, "Well, who cares? Like, he's dead. Why do they want to know?" And it's like, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" And she's like, "We're selling the land." And I get mad at them for that, but it's really on the eastern end of the Old Colony Street. Eastern end of the Old Colony Street. Okay, so this is over here. Okay, let's go there and find out. But yeah, no, I think it was pretty cool. I'm like, dude, that's pretty awesome, man. Again, I hope to be that guy one day. Who doesn't want to be the guy that dies like after telling the FBI or whatever to go screw themselves? And not because they killed him, just because he died of old age. But no, like the level of 180 that my grandfather had after everything else, it's pretty shocking. I mean, it is very shocking to hear that story. Just because I'd never known that guy to be anything other than what essentially comes down to Mr. Rogers. So I mean, again, I don't blame him for anything he did. I don't get mad at him for what he did. I don't think I'll think less of him for it. But I think that if he was so ashamed of it, I don't know. It just, there's a weird thing about me that goes, like, I'm more than happy to hear everybody else's history. I mean, I would even be happy to like listen to somebody else tell me the history. I just don't think that because it's weird. It's weird. I know it's weird. Just because he didn't want to tell me, it just feels kind of wrong to look at it. Every now and again, I'll look at it and I'll kind of think about maybe I can just crack it open and read like a page. But if it bothered him that much, maybe it's better that I don't. You know, I don't think I'll think less of it. I don't think I will. Because I understand. I understand. Like I've read enough World War II, I guess, stories, especially in Japan, to know how awful it was. you can't walk away from that not being calloused and jaded and monstrous. Like, you just can't. Much of the same way that people that came back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they can't really leave it behind. I don't blame them for it. Right? It is what it is. I've never experienced it. I don't know what it's like. I can't judge them for it, but I can say this: like, yeah, when you've committed something, when you've done something monstrous, it's something that stays with you. You have to do something that is fundamentally anathema to you as a person, and it's bad. It's very bad, to put it bluntly. It doesn't mean that you can't do something later on. It doesn't mean you have to let it rule you, but you are forever going to be tainted by the thing that you've done, or those things that you've done. And again, Falkirk, you can disagree all you want to, and I understand where you're coming from, and part of me really wants to agree, but I've seen, my grandfather's one of them. I've seen what it does to people when you've gone too far, when you've done something that is horrible. I get it, I understand, but I've seen too many people messed up by the things that they've done that they thought never would bother them. I've lost count of how many nights the Ashi has been trapped in this storm. We're going round in circles. Drak rocks don't let us leave this snub city or turn back to come to shore. No food left. My sister and her husband are clearly mad with hunger. They say we must jump into the sea and cross it by foot underwater. They jumped. They all just jumped into the water. My whole family, with a sickly smile on their faces. Kay, help me. I'm taking the only diving suit and I will try to reach the shore. Pray for me.
Still wet. Someone undressed in a hurry.
But I've had friends that went there and came back, and they're not the same people. You know, I've seen it happen to family. I've had a cousin who was a pilot in the Iraq War. He came back very different. Again, he is not comfortable with some of the things that he did. Some of it he doesn't care about, but there's other parts that you can tell that bothers him. And I'm not mad at him for it. I get it. It changes you. Committing monstrous acts against people. I think in the moment it doesn't bother you because you can't let it, but once you kind of sit down and slow down and realize what you've done, it bothers you. Think of it kind of like PTSD or whatever for like a cop shooting a civilian, right? They overreacted, they overdid it, and then all of a sudden they freak out and they like start hyperventilating, they start freaking out. And even if they did it for good reasons, it just freaks them out.
How many lives were lost in these waters? Lives were lost.
And again, I'm more than happy to hear a contrary opinion on it. I'm sure DC is already long gone because this is heavy conversation. And maybe Fokker is too. Maybe it's just me and Mr. Guns and Knives. What am I supposed to do here exactly? Let's see. I've got 3 skill points. Good lord. Okay, hold on. Manly Vega, not good enough. Yeah, vitality increases. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And see, here I was going to talk. Lots of troops had to shoot kids because the enemy manipulated kids into throwing grenades at our troops in Vietnam and Iraq. Oh yeah, and World War II. This is not a one-size-fits-all thing. I mean, this is definitely something that has happened in multiple wars. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to get the enemy out, right? That is the goal. And by any means necessary, that's what you have to do. And the more you win, the more you lose, the more you get pushed to that extreme. The more extreme you get, the more extreme you have to go. Like it's the sad truth of the matter. Like there is no way around it. And so again, like shooting a kid messes you up. Like blowing up a house that you know is probably just full of like children or something, it messes you up. It doesn't matter if you hate those people, but that's one of the reasons why my granddad hated the Japanese. He hated them. He very much did not like them, which is why I think it's kind of funny. Oh god dang it, not again. that, you know, Geisha and I are together. It's kind of weird. I recognize the somewhat sick irony of that. Alright, so I think I'm going the wrong way, because I'm not actually doing anything out here. Let's see if I can make it to shore. Probably not. Oh, no, this is like a... Oh, there's an invisible wall there. Oh, God. Well, I may have, yeah, there's an invisible wall there. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep, I done goofed, I think. Oh, no. No, no, get away from me. Get away from me, tentacle people. Get away from me, tentacle people. Ew. Don't touch me. You're slimy. Ew, gross. I'm gonna die. Ah, I died. Well, there's that. Let's try this again. There we go. But yeah, no, it's hentai tentacle fate, exactly. I got my own hentai. My own hentai isekai, or whatever that is called. There we go. See, and you know what I was going to talk about? I was talking about stupid stuff tonight. We got all heavy. We got all heavy, man. And here I was going to talk about stupid crap. Like, do you think dragons existed? What do you think old dragons looked like, right? You know? Like, what do you think an old dragon looked like, right? Did they actually exist? Do you think they breathed fire? No, this is not your fault. This is Fokker and I brought this up. This is not your fault. This is absolutely not your fault. This is Fokker and I were like discussing what it takes to be a monster, and I was like, just kind of like, well, I like this conversation because it's a good, fun conversation.
Still, someone undressed in a hurry.
But it is the conversation. Look, I like this kind of stuff. I like discussing philosophy and, like, you know, I would consider this philosophy. I also think that some people find it very uncomfortable because, you know, it means they have to be introspective. Like, I recognize the fact that, yeah, there's going to be something... We all have dirty parts of ourselves, right? I mean, there's always parts of us that we really don't like. If we want to get honest with ourselves, there's always pieces of us that we don't like. Anyone who says that they're 100% okay with them as a person, and there's nowhere else to grow, there's nowhere else that they can recognize that something's wrong, that's an interesting person, to say the least.
The door won't budge.
Since the day Oakmont was stricken by the flood, fishermen have complained that their prey seem to have vacated all the coastal waters. I have no clue where the Drock all the Fisk went, said Mr. B. Morgan, a fisherman from Salvation Harbor. We return empty-handed every single time, yet those toad-faced scum return with nets loaded up with fisk. This is witchcraft of the underwater kin, I'm telling you. The port is ringing with dissatisfaction at the unprecedented advantage that Innsmouthers have in the fishing trade. To what can this success be attributed? The Oakmont Chronicle will investigate. One thing's for sure, though, something smells fisky. Well, indeed. I think people across the earth weren't having dragons in their cultures for nothing. Oh, no, I agree. Like, okay, so if it appears across every culture, or most of them, there's something to it. Now, the thing about, like any kind of mythology or lore is that it depends on what it is, right? Is this a metaphorical thing, or is this a literal thing? Dragons are more literal. I mean, there is a description of a dragon. Like, we understand the form of dragon. Hello.
We're doomed to rot in this Borg.
Okay. Like, we understand that there is a physical form to... I'm leaning more towards dinosaurs. See, but there's no evidence of dinosaurs anywhere. That's the other problem.
The door won't budge.
That's the real frustrating part of this, is that there is absolutely zero evidence for dinosaurs.
door won't budge.
Okay. So literally every door is locked, and there's no way up or down. I guess this way's an up way, a way up. I know people are probably thinking in the chat right now, but there's dinosaur bones at the Natural Science Museum. Yeah, okay, those are all fake. And I'm not just saying that. Like, every paleontologist will tell you that's fake. They have bones that, like, they may have one bone. They may have, like, a tooth, or a piece of a skull, or what they think is a skull, or, like, a pelvis or something. They'll have things that are incomplete. There has never been... We have dinosaur skeletons in lots of places. We have skeletons in lots of places. I'm not convinced they're dinosaur skeletons. That being said, that doesn't mean that dinosaurs don't exist now either, right? So think of it this way, is that a long time ago, you have animals that were documented as being very big, much bigger than what we have today. But most of them die off like before the Middle Ages. Most of them are long dead by that point. There's a few left over. But not many. By now, if they're still alive, they're ancient beyond belief. Like, I think there was rumors, like, in Africa that they still had pterodactyls in certain parts of the area. But I don't think I ever believed that. But there was that rumor, like, what, in the early 2000s, there was this report, and people went looking for it. Was that there was a pterodactyl. There we go. That was still flying around in Africa, and it was a monster that would actually eat bigger animals. Like, I forget which ones, but like, it would actually go and hunt in the forest, in the jungles. Jimmy, none of us is going to leave our homes and join this dang adventures of yours. We're perfectly fine here in Oakmont and have no need to look for a better place. Moreover, calling your skip Archie is drock of an idea. Aunt Lavinia. Lavinia, you say? Good Roman name. But we have skeletons and bones from all over the place. I wouldn't necessarily call them dinosaur bones. I don't think that's true. I'm not convinced. I'm open to it. But from my understanding, and this is going to be where my understanding comes from, we have never found those bones together. We have always been finding bones separated from each other. So, like, we'd find a femur, essentially a femur, and like a tooth miles away from each other, close enough to say that they were in the same area, but not actually be the same animal.
The door won't budge.
And so you have paleontologists that essentially try to put that together and make that work. Because as far as I know, there are no dinosaurs like we think of, like velociraptors, T-Rexes, brontosauruses, brachiosauruses. We don't have any bones for those things. We have a bone, maybe two that we think belong to them. That's it. Now, if I'm wrong, dude, seriously, send it to me in the Discord, because that would change a lot of my philosophy. That would change my view upon so much stuff, though. I would love to admit it, because, like, that, it sounds conspiratorial and stupid. It's just that, again, if they don't have evidence that these things were together, if I can't find bones that go together, then I can't really say that they're real. Okay. Alright, now do I go talk to this guy? No.
We're doomed to rot in this bog.
Okay. So there's that thing.
There you are.
Okay. Well, how do I get in?
The door won't budge.
So how do I get in? But yeah, please. I mean, Fokker or DC, anybody. Like, if you have... If you have something that you can say, haha, look, you're retarded. Okay, I'm fine with that, dude. Like, just send it to me. Send it to me in the Discord. Seriously, I would love to read it. I will take time out of my day tomorrow to read it, because it would actually recontextualize a lot of the things that I understand and what I believe about, like, the ancient world. It would also make me feel a lot more comfortable, because what the fuck are those bones? If I'm right, what the fuck are those bones? Like, if you got a femur the size of, like, a sedan, like, what is that? Where is it from? Whose is it, or was it? What was it? I don't know the answer to those questions. I don't have anything useful for you. You could also just call me a crazy piece of shit. That works too.
The door won't budge.
All right, so this is the way in, but I don't think I'm missing a piece here.
The door won't budge.
Okay. So it's locked from both sides? What the hell is this? Okay. DC Fokker, tell me. Tell me! Maybe they're bones of the Nephilim. I mean, maybe. I mean, this is nothing. Giants are something that is also reported across every culture. So there are bones that belong to creatures that we don't understand. So so then you have to get into other stuff. So then you say, okay, well, like Neanderthals, right? What are the Neanderthals? There are
The door won't budge.
multiple forms of human being, allegedly. I haven't looked too deeply into this, but there are multiple forms of human being that essentially coexisted with humanity that we understand today. So what were they, right? You've also got stories of elves and dwarves that are consistent among most cultures. So you have these very, very old stories that all exist across every culture, every time period, every single one of them. And giants is one of those things. So if you're talking about giants, then yeah, like the odds are, you know, now I'll grant you this thing. The story of big people is a really uncreative thing to say, right? Big people. That's pretty straightforward. Hey, well, we're all 4 feet tall, but this guy's like 15 feet tall. Ooh, you know, it's not a very complicated thing to think about. You could easily figure that one out, right? All right, I'm running out of ideas. How the hell do I get in there?
The door won't budge.
How am I supposed to get in there?
The door won't budge.
There's nothing that way.
The door won't budge.
Is that drop off? But it would make more sense that there are big people, and then you look at what was it? What's the guy's name? There's a king. He was like 10 feet tall. I forget his name. I cannot remember his name, but it's a bed. I think you can go see it now. It's an actual physical thing you can go see now, and it was his bed, and it was like massive. It was gigantic. All right, so how am I supposed to get in there? That's my question. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think this through now too, because I'm like, okay, well, what would how would we do this? Like, what would those be? But then you have to ask, okay, well, how did you get like, if they're all related to like bones of the Nephilim, right? So let's just say the Nephilim or the giants or whatever you want to call them. Were their facial structures different? Were their
The door won't budge.
what do you call it? Were their like teeth? Were they more sharp? Like, I mean, because I think they have of verified teeth they found, and those are big teeth that don't really fit. Like, are they related? Are they unrelated? Like, I mean, there's so many things that we don't know about that stuff. Okay, I don't know why I walked back in here. There's nothing more I can do in here. I'm literally at my wit's end. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do here. Let's see. Okay. Maybe, did I choose the wrong one first? Maybe I'm supposed to go to the other one? Western Shells and the railway station at the intersection of Salvation Road. Let's see, Western Shells. Salvation Road and Moreland Road. We'll try this one first then. Salvation Road and Moreland Road. Salvation Road and Moreland Road. Salvation Road and Moreland Road. And sorry, I find this stuff fascinating. I like looking and thinking about this stuff, but I usually don't bring it up here because, you know, I like to talk about... If I'm talking about history, I want to talk about history that I can prove most of the time. But no, I don't believe that dinosaurs existed. At least not right now. Like I said, though, if you have a article, even... Hell, it doesn't even have to be horrendously, veritable. I really would prefer to believe they do exist. It's just that, from my understanding and what I've read, those bones have never come from the same dig site. They've all come from random dig sites around the world. I've heard stories of the... What's our big... What's the United States' big repository of data? What's it called? It's a really big one. Good Lord. The Smithsonian. I've heard stories that the Smithsonian Institute, back in like the 1800s, openly admitted that there were giants that roamed like the United States, and there was evidence. They had pictures of bones that they found. I've heard this story. I can't ever really verify it, so I don't know. But there was a Salvation. Oh, there it goes. Bam. We'll try that one. There was allegedly pictures of bones that the Native Americans had buried because the giants would eat them, is my understanding. Is what this, if I remember how the story was told to me, but I've never really bothered to verify it. Just because, again, it just sounds kind of ridiculous and silly. I don't know of now that being said, though, if I'm not mistaken, the giants in Greek mythology, they ate people, so maybe there is something to that. That would be another part of a story that would actually fit into another part of a story about giants in another culture. But again, I'm not sure if that's just something that somebody made up, or if that's actually, the thing. I don't know. I've reversed a few times. It's the first time it ever actually showed me what was behind me. Ugh. I think I scared everybody away, Mr. Guns and Knives. I did my due diligence. I scared everybody away and I pissed everybody off. I like how they're all far away from everybody. Let's see here. There's nothing nearby. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was also thinking about something else today too. That was again, speaking of really heavy stuff, lobotomies. I heard somebody say that a lobotomy is only performed when somebody's awake, and I never really thought about that ever, because we don't do lobotomies, right? But somebody said no, they only do lobotomies while you're awake, and I was like, I don't know nearly enough about lobotomies, like, but why do they need you awake? Like, I mean, what is it about the lobotomy that requires you? What happens if they do it to you while you're asleep? And I know how, like, barbaric it is, but then I started reading about the ways that they used to do lobotomies. Oh, there's a little eel thing there. And I said, like, dude, one guy would drill a hole through your fucking skull. And he would pour alcohol down it. I forget what kind of alcohol, but it was like a grain alcohol or something. I don't know. But I was like, are you kidding me? Oh, Salvation Harbor North. Okay. Like, they would drill a hole in your head and then pour alcohol down it. And I forget what, like, the first guy that did it, what his purpose of it was. Let's see here. Railway station on the intersection of Salvation Road and Moreland Road. Okay, rail station. Rail station. Sorry, I'm cursing too much right now. I need to stop doing that, but these are things that I find fascinating, but my brain hurt. Hello? Oh. But, like, the idea was that the lobotomy would cure them of course, like, mental disorders and things like that. And I was like, so you scramble the front of the brain, you scratch it, you puncture it, you stab it, over and over and over again until you just stop. And, oh boy, that's a mighty fine way to do that, I guess. So. Oh god. Grenade. Or firebomb. Hello. One down. Balloon animal. I mean, yeah. Now I forgot what I was saying now. Good lord. Oh, that's precious.
Even this monstrosity couldn't survive being riddled with harpoons.
I forgot what I was talking about just now. I'm not gonna lie, those monsters kind of did me in. I was like, wait a minute, what was I saying again? I forgot. I thought I scared DC away, actually. I thought DC would get bored of my prattling, and he didn't, so that's... Oh, that's good. At least he didn't run away. Let's get some more shotgun shells. There we go. Oh, I also... sorry, lobotomies. Oh, god dang it, not again! Good lord. Ow. Headshot. Okay. Back to the injecting myself with cocaine. Alright. We gotta get in the compound here. Nope. 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 Okay. Am I missing something here? Ah. Okay. I'm assuming it's right here. Because that would be the thing that makes the most sense. But I can't get in there. if I go further down? I don't know. Somebody tells me I'm going the wrong way again. Have I just gaslit myself into going the wrong way? Because so far, most of these missions have been relatively straightforward up until this point, and now it's like, hey, no, we're gonna pad this out, son of a bitch. I got nothing out here. Yeah, this just a train station that goes into the water? Or a rail yard that just goes into the water? That's weird. Well, let's just, I guess, follow it down there and circle around? I don't know. You know, for being Sherlock Holmes, I'm doing a very terrible job of figuring this out. So there's a way out. Okay. Ugh. Anyway, that didn't answer my question, though. Dinosaurs. Oh, sorry, dinosaurs. Not dinosaurs. Sorry. Dragons. Durgans. Like, what were Durgans? That's the big question, man. What were Durgans? Like, what do you mean? If dragons existed, what were they? I don't. Do they breathe fire? I don't know.
Definitely handmade. Looks like a piece of the monolith.
Ah, very good. Why don't you just take a piece of radium? That'll do it. Wow, that thing got stabbed in the back. And it got stuck in the door. Just proof positive that if you're too fat, it will be bad.
Chipping off such a huge piece would require a lot of effort. You couldn't do this alone.
Correct.
The monster took a good bite out of this poor man.
Is he wearing...
Mother wouldn't recognize him now.
Is he wearing explosives on his chest?
Harder! You must have this piece of the stone. It's blessed.
Alright. Oh, over here.
The wild beasts smell us. Protect the stone! Hurry. I think I heard something.
Time to figure this out.
What?
Harder. Must have this piece of the stone. It's blessed. The wild beasts smell us. Protect the stone! Hurry.
This one?
I think I heard something.
Okay. I think this one's number one.
Harder. Must have this piece of the stone. Hurry. I think I heard something. The wild beasts smell us. Protect the stone!
A group of fanatics chipped off a piece of the monolith and got away with it. Apparently it was the one with the niche I need.
Huzzah! Nope. Alright. Alright, so they used to cart the transportation, so they must have left trash somewhere, okay. They should have left track somewhere. Aha! Let's go take a look around here. Let's make sure there's nothing else we can find. Nothing there. I guess there's no way around this place. Lady, what are you doing here? This place is dangerous. I wouldn't do that, okay? No tracks. Anywhere. Well, we did not make much progress tonight, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting sick, so we might just get out of my way then. I don't see any tracks. They used a cart to transfer the heavy stone. They must have left tracks somewhere. Well, yeah, I mean, right there. Do I need to do, like, walk up to them or something? Right there. I mean, right?
The monster took a good bite out of this poor man. His own mother wouldn't recognize him now.
Okay. Oh, hello. May have missed this.
The chip looks fresh.
How would you... What? How would you know?
The same pattern as on the monolith.
Okay. I guess I'm missing more clues. I don't see any more over there. Maybe they went that way? I don't know. Yeah, they were loading it on the cart, but then it shows them they're going this way. The track stop. Oh, is that a piece of the stone? Aha! Stone pieces.
Killed with one blow.
That's impressive.
I wouldn't want to be him. The wood's rotten from the dam.
Well, he's dead. Oh, there's the stone rock. Right? I mean, am I following this the right way? Oh, journal. Journal!
Definitely handmade. Looks like a piece of the monolith. All soaked in blood. I hope it's still readable.
Let's give it a shot. Excited to be the secretary of our community. The history of our ascension will be written with my own hand. 2 days ago, found the blessed piece of the stone. It's so close. The hour of our ascension draws near. New headquarters in Western Shells on Justice Street between the Inner Shine Street and Warren Road. Closer to the stone, so it'll be easier to transport. Aha. On Justice Street. Between Inner Shine Street and Warren Road. So right here. Alright. Let's go! Oh, man. My head and throat are starting to kill me. Good lord. Whee! Let's go. Hold on. You had a hard time wheeling it down the road, so you put it in a boat? That seems wise. I am not judging.
I hope that didn't smash the part I need.
Wow.
This statue is incredibly detailed. It's practically lifelike.
That's probably because it's actually a person.
Damn. Did they actually try to chew that?
Wow, that's pretty weird. My guess is they all got turned to stone. Why would you try to eat it? Something tells me I'm going to need that.
The door won't budge.
Of course
there
not.
you are.
Oh, for the love of God, not again. Oh, for the love of all that is holy. And now I gotta find a freaking key or something along those lines. Oh, hello, what's this?
I can't help myself. It's so delicious.
Oh, it's not good. What the hell? Oh, I'm going insane. That's right. Here we go. There you go.
Good care. At last, our sentence is so close. We'll start immediately. We are honored to be the first to ascend. May this case gift free us from our bodily weaknesses and sins.
Yes.
Others await the ascension. I'll lock you up so no one can interrupt. Let me take the key.
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Alright. So they let this one Southern Belle.
At last, we are honored to be the first to ascend. May this others await the ascension.
I don't know. That doesn't answer
I'll
why
lock
they ate
you
the
up
rock.
so no one can interrupt. Let me take the key.
A piece of the monolith was brought here, partly eaten, and the leftovers were taken upstairs. The door was locked and the key hidden among the books.
Why? No, we're gonna just do a little cocaine about that psychosis there. Nope, we're not dealing with that. Completely normal thing to do, to worship a rock. It's completely normal. There we go.
This must be part of the seal.
There we go. Well, I hope that they're all worth it, but, I mean, at least they're going to look really good for all eternity. I mean, at least for a little while. There's going to be some very rich guy in Gotham who's going to use them as a inspiration for his front yard. Oh, hello?
Don't touch it. The stone is ours.
What the hell? What the hell? Why are they all tentacled across their heads? Like, what is going on there? Okay, it is time to leave. Time to not be here anymore. I think. Okay. Alright. Well, at least we got one of those things done, so we're going to call it a night now. That's unsettling. The rock things moved. That's not good. So hopefully next Monday we'll be done. So, thank you all very much for watching. I will hope to see you all again soon on Wednesday if I haven't scared everybody else off. By having harsh conversations and Look, I did a horrible sin according to streamers. I disagreed with somebody. I disagreed with people in my own chat. I disagreed with them, which according to people who stream, it's a cardinal sin. So who knows? Maybe this is the end. So I hope you all have a wonderful night. I hope to see you all again soon. Take it easy, guys. I know, how dare I? How dare I have an opinion outside of what the approved narrative is? How dare I think for myself? How dare I have opinions of my own? How dare I? I'm supposed to be an avatar of other people, aren't I? That's what I'm supposed to be? Is that the parasocial relationship or whatever the fuck I've heard about that? Like, oh no, you're an extension of your chat. Oh no, see, that's the thing, is that you're supposed to always agree with them because you want them to love you. And I was like, yeah, because I've met people that I care about and love, and definitely the people that I love are the people that never disagree with me, ever. That's why I talk to them all the time. Yes, the people that agree with me, I don't want to talk to all the time. The people that agree with me 100% of the time are not fun. People that agree with me even slightly, they're fun. You're supposed to have their words come out of your mouth. There you go. That's it. But he ignores me. I do not ignore you, DC. I said balloon animal, and I said whatever you had to say. But you, okay, I get it exactly. See, here's the thing, DC. In order for me to interact, you have to say something. I don't ignore you. You just don't say anything. I'm gaslighting the living fuck out of you right now. But I don't gaslight people, though. That'd be weird. All right. I'm going to jump out of here, guys. Have a good night.